Welcome to cash flow modeling. In this video, we'll talk through the cash flow modeling part of Pilot and how it works in conjunction with the fact find. In this demonstration, we have the client's income and expenditure captured in the fact find. We're able to take account of things like start dates and end dates in the cash flow modeling, and we're able to take account of escalation rates, and we're able to take account of the net and gross incomes. The cash flow modeling works currently from the net income, and we make assumptions on tax on withdrawals. The expenditure items are able to be categorized between essential, lifestyle, and discretionary. And again, we can capture the escalation rates, the frequency, the amounts, and any start and end dates or ages. In this particular case, the client has an income of 5,000 gross, 3,500 net per month until age 67, dividends until age 67, and then that all ends and he receives a state pension starting at age 67. The expenditure items are just categorized as a total: general bills 2,500 from now ongoing, as an essential expenditure, although you can break this down if you want to into more specific expenditure items. Other lifestyle items at £3,000 per month, and both of these are going from now until end of life. And holidays, the client wants £10,000 per annum from now until age 70, and then that reduces as a requirement to £3,000 per annum. And in these cases, these are linked to CPI, and the general bills are linked to RPI in this particular example. So having it completed the information here, we can go directly to cash flow modeling without having to repopulate any of this anywhere. And that will give us an output of what this looks like in graphical terms and also as a table. The income line is shown here in green, and it's shown in real terms, so it takes account of inflation rates. And if I want to make any modifications to my data, it gives me an opportunity to do it here without having to go back to the fact find. So were I to decide actually that the dividend is actually 7,000 and perhaps 6,000 instead, that will adjust the graph accordingly as such. The expenditure items are also shown here and can be shown essential, lifestyle, and discretionary, and a total. And again, we can change any information we want to. And if by changing it here, of course, it also changes the fact find, so it just prevents rekeying across the system. We have the ability to see what the surplus and deficit is year on year. And so in this case, the client has a surplus income until age 67, and then has a deficit here, which, and where it says funded, that means that there is sufficient policies set to be able to fund that deficit, and that does so ongoing until age 86, at which point the money effectively runs out, and there's age runs out here, and this deficit that is unfunded. And that's also reflected in the policies graph here. So the policies graph shows how the money depletes over time. We can make changes to the assumptions of growth rates and tax rates of withdrawal. We can add things like advisor charges in here, plan charges, and all of these will impact the sustainability of the portfolios. So in this particular case, where I decide that the personal pension plan actually is a 20% tax rate of withdrawal, then it allows me to see how that impacts the sustainability of this portfolio. So it's not being drawn on until 67, so it's growing till then, and then it lasts a little bit longer because there's less taxation. I'm able to change the year at which the forecasting ends. So in this case, perhaps I'll change it to end in at age 80, and that will reflect in my graph accordingly in my table. I can also change things like assumed CPI rates and RPI rates, which will also take account of, will also change the data in the table. And any pension assets are set by default to access at the age 55 or 57, depending on the year, in line with legislation, but you can override this in the pension modal, or you can also allow early access to pension funds if the client's in ill health or there's another reason why they can take their pension benefits sooner. So I hope that's a useful quick run through of how the cash flow modeler works, and we look forward to you using it. Thank you very much.